Hi, this is Matt Rastard from Gouki.com. I'm here at E3 with Jeramy Cooke from Gearbox Studios, and we're here to talk about Borderlands 2. And we last saw this game at PAX Prime, actually, almost a year ago. And has there been any change, aside from all the new characters and stuff added to it, has there been any changes to the gameplay since then?
I mean, we're always polishing and refining, mostly balancing monsters, making sure that characters don't get stunned for too long, stuff like that. It's a lot of smaller stuff at this point. We're really trying to, get it shipped at this point.
And how are you guys feeling about the overall, quality right now? Is there a big push to the end and trying to work on that?
I mean, honestly, from a Gearbox standpoint, this is one of the most polished games I think we've ever made. So I'm really, really proud of where we're at today. I think it's one of the cool things about having success with the first title. We were able to really kind of double down on that and polish what we had and take it all to like a new level instead of having to start over from scratch and figure out everything all over again.
So this is a sort of a fan question from the background we had behind us at PAX Prime had some pictures of flying vehicles. I don't know if there's any on this one. I don't see it. But are there going to be any flying vehicles in the game?
There are flying vehicles, but they're not drivable by the player. So sorry, no, the players will not be driving around in flying vehicles right now.
But we'll be shooting them.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll be blown up. It's actually pretty fun when you're in your own vehicle driving and you got your co-op partner trying to shoot down the flying vehicles behind you. It's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite levels actually in Borderlands 2.
This is another fan question about control customization. The first game had a little bit of control customization, but this fan in particular is a lefty and he wants to know if there's going to be a southpaw setting.
There absolutely is. In fact, there's 2 different southpaw setups as well as fully configurable keys this time around.
And this is a question I asked you before, but we couldn't quit an answer yet at PAX, so hopefully we have some. Maybe. Is there going to be, what is the max level and what kind of endgame content can we look forward to?
I mean, there's some really cool endgame stuff. I can't talk specifics there. Max level will be 60 first time around. And then from there, it's going to be all about looking for the really unique, rare, legendary weapons and gear. There's cool endgame bosses. I can't give you too many details on what they are, but there's 3 endgame bosses that you can find in Borderlands 2.
Excellent. I'm definitely looking forward to fighting those with a bunch of people. Will you be able to transfer loot between your own saves at all?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a stash feature where you can put the loot in there and then pick it out with your other characters. Yep.
And a related question, the fan question is, will you be able to sort of asynchronously send a weapon to somebody as a trade? Like, hey, I've got this cool gun for you. Next time you log on, here it is?
No, all trading right now is done through the personal trading system, so you both have to be in the game at the same time. Yep.
Will there be a difficulty setting for the game at all?
No, really our difficulty is about playthroughs, so each time you play through the game it gets harder and harder. And I think right now we've got, don't quote me on this, but right now there's three full playthroughs that you can do. Yep.
So one more than last time?
Yep.
This is another one we asked last time and couldn't quite get an answer on. What are badass points?
Again, yeah, we're still not talking about badass points, but they are in the game, and yeah, sorry, there's just nothing I can say on that one.
Excellent. We saw something about game changers in the skill tree where your skills would sort of morph into some other kind of talent or get some extra powers to them. Can you tell us more about those? Yeah,
I mean, our game changers is more of a sort of an internal design concept where at the mid-tier of each tree, we always try and introduce a skill that, if you choose it, really fundamentally changes the way you play the game. Now, it's not going to transform your other skills or something like that, but it does really change the way you play. And each class has 3 different ones at the mid-tier and then 3 more at the bottom tier as well. So that was really just a design philosophy thing to try and say, well, we can't just have all these little stat boosts. We want the new skills you pick to really change the way you play, so that depending on what build, what spec you're doing, you're playing the game in an entirely different manner. We've talked about Be Like Water, which is a 0 skill, and that one is really fun because every time you do a melee attack, you get a ranged bonus, and every time you do a ranged attack, you get a melee bonus. So he has a lot of really cool abilities where you're kind of like running into combat, slashing a guy, running around behind him, trying to headshot him, and then immediately go back in again. And so he's got a lot of fun gameplay sort of grows around that. And once you learn to play Be Like Water, like we've got some testers that are really good at it, you can be incredibly powerful. But it really fundamentally changes how you play 0.
Can you give us an example of maybe one of Axton's game changers?
I don't know one off the top of my head. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't summon one up at this point.
Okay, so this is a sort of a personal question for me since I went ahead and pre-ordered the Loot Chest edition, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's sold out like already, which is kind of weird. We didn't really expect it to be as popular as it was.
That was the question I had: is how limited is it really?
It's very limited. Right now, we're hearing that there aren't any more. They're actually all sold out. But there may be a chance for us to do another run. We're just not sure whether that's going to happen yet.
This is Bat Rastard for Gouki.com's E3 at Borderlands 2 with Jeramy Cooke. Don't be a Jimmy.
Don't be a Jimmy.
Gouki.com 世界一番
Don't be a Jimmy.
Don't be a Jimmy.
Don't be a Jimmy.
Don't be a Jimmy.
Giving a shout out to Gouki.com. Don't be a Jimmy.
You're watching Gouki.com. Don't be a Jimmy.